بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت وإذا الجبال سيرت وإذا العشار عطلت وإذا الوحوش حشرت وإذا البحار سجرت وإذا النفوس زوجت وإذا الموءودة سئلت بأي ذنب قتلت وإذا الصحف نشرت وإذا السماء كشطت وإذا الجحيم سعرت وإذا الجنة أزلفت علمت نفس ما أحضرت فلا أقسم بالخنس الجوار الكنس والليل إذا عسعس والصبح إذا تنفس إنه لقول رسول كريم ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين مطاع ثم أمين وما صاحبكم بمجنون ولقد رآه بالأفق المبين وما هو على الغيب بضنين وما هو بقول شيطان رجيم فأين تذهبون إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين لمن شاء منكم أن يستقيم وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله رب العالمين.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. First order of business, man. Let me know if you can hear me. I need to stop playing and really need to get on that sword, man. I can't even try to learn something else right now because I got like the first few verses down. And so I need to stop playing, dedicate myself to that sword, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful sword. What's up, Kimba L. Bay in the building? What's happening? What's going on? I am Janine B. What's going on? All right, y'all can hear me. Cool. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy holidays to you. I know it's a holiday weekend, and you know we don't got time to be on YouTube today, but it don't stop over here. Today's conversation is going to be something called Dear Young Man. In fact, if you can click that like button so we can get people up in here. Also, how dare I, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, Sallallahu Allah, Muhammad and Ali, the two greats. Just two greats, man. That's all I can say. Two greats. All right. All right. So we're going to get into a poetic piece called Dear Young Man. Got to listen closely. Listen intently. Listen intimately with the ears of your heart and soul. You may even have to pause and have a conversation about it, you know, but I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Yes. Should I wait for some more people to get up in here? Or are they just going to have to catch the playback, right? They just going to have to catch the playback. All right. So let me see if I got it loaded up back here. In fact, there is a version that we can read along if we wanna. and you're going to be able to hear it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play it. There we go. I'll play it and then I'll bring it up on the screen as well. So let me see. Dear young man is here. Hit this button here. Let's play it. Dear young man, I ask that you please listen to this with the ears of your heart and the ears of your soul. I ask that, in fact, that you close your eyes and we go on this spiritual soul journey and learn. And I just share with you a truth that I wish I was told about sex, that I wish I was told about women and our connection. This is from me to you. Dear young man, please know that sex impacts the soul, and where you will forever carry the memories and spiritual residue of the person forever. So please be clever, because I would have never had sex with many, if any, knowing what I know now. Trauma after the fact is a repeat of memories that haunt us. So never argue and fight, because these experiences are stored in our mind and body as false light. False meaning it is the wrong memory to encode in the seed of never letting go. Dear young man, seek wisdom. If you were to contract a disease from person C and C from B and B from A, then you just received the false sexual light from person A and B as if you were with them. It's basic logic. Don't dodge it. Be wise, young man. Energy is never destroyed. It is simply re-employed. People carry us as memories because we are chemically inside of them, and not just her and him, but them, meaning all of us are bonded, a spiritual orgy of chaos that I did not know exists. So please resist the urge. It may be impossible to purge, because cells have memories and impact our gene expression. So sex is a spiritual science lesson. Soulmates is not just a cute concept. It is a truth that all mates affect our soul. So the goal was always to know and go. Marry the virgin as a virgin, so the soul may glow as we unite and grow. Out of one comes many, and out of chaos comes order. These are the things we need to share with our sons and daughters. But for many, it's too late. We can never break and escape the past. The experience is cataloged in our memory bank. In the inner conflict of these multiple personalities, these just may be the culprit of our chaotic reality. Uncertain, fearful, angry, and confused. Could it be her, and her, the leftover sexual residue? Dear young man, the mere fact that you can receive a disease from sex shows you that you can receive energy from a woman. So please do not be a dumb man. What you have is pure, untainted. You are yet to let another soul enter your body. Cherish that, protect that, because the wrong DNA will impact that, and that is just a biological fact. Dear young man, seek wisdom. Get to know your soul and what and who is good for it. Never be part of creating bad memories for self and others. For when they are out of your present and years later, when they think of you with negative emotion, these thoughts create motion that can create misfortune in our lives. Hence in the East, we wear the evil eye. But for some, it may be too late. It's okay to wait. Better safe than sorry, and sex is not a menage like a wild safari. Habitats of animals. A human being can become a spiritual sexual cannibal. Hannibal Lecter who drinks the nectar. An incubus, a spiritual demon that has sex with women sleeping. This folklore is a metaphor. Don't nail the hammer Thor to the woman who is yet to explore the awakening of her soul. This is akin to sleeping with a zombie, a mole. More poisonous than the black mamba bee, but the right woman brings you sweet sexual healing like the honey bee. Be wise, young man. Because once you let her in, you can never get her out. We were made to be joined together, not to come together and then biologically forget. This makes no sense. It's a biological impossibility and spiritual incompetence. So develop the ability to get to know your soul, which takes a lifetime and lifetimes. Get to know God who dwells in your heart. This is the start. Learn to listen to that voice that will guide us to make the right choice. Discover and surrender to a daily practice where you purposely commune with God and make this action your number one attraction. And from this love, God will grant you your special love from above. She will be his representative, your true soulmate. And you two will be like the turtleneck dove, always in love. Find Sophia, young man. Words of Sheikh Suleiman Sharif Ab Malik of the Golden Heart. Okay. All right. Our young Ack in the building. What up? So were y'all able to hear that? Find time to check, right? 5 minutes later, right? Let me know. Was y'all able to hear that? Let me know, because it's something I want to hit on inside of there, right? Y'all able to hear that? Yes. All righty. Okay. All right. So here's a part at the top, right? Really at the bottom, right? At the bottom, it goes on to read, people carry us as memories because we are chemically inside of them. And not just her and him, but them, meaning all of us are bonded, a spiritual orgy of chaos that I did not know exists. So please resist the urge. It may be impossible to purge, because cells have memories and impact our gene expression. So sex is a spiritual science lesson. Yes? Okay, hold on. Sound like I wanted to get to one more thing in there. And let's read this top. So be wise, young man, because once you let her in, you can never get her out. We were made to be joined together. That should have said we were made to be joined together forever. Not to come together and then biologically forget. This makes no sense. This is a biological impossibility and spiritual incompetence. I will keep it right there, ladies and gentlemen. What am I saying? I'm saying, dear young man, please be careful. It is. I had to talk with my son. I let him listen to this when the download came this week, when the instruction came this week. Wrote that out, recorded it real quick, right? Picked up my son, and I'm like, listen to this, and I'm like, bars, right? He's like, yeah, those are bars, right? I said, listen, man, don't be fooled by the culture and think that you have to have sex. And it's, I said, no. I said, because that's energy, man. Who she was with, and she was with this person, that's energy inside of you, and you can carry that forever. You know what I mean? So don't be in a rush, because what you have is a soul that's pure, because you have yet to share it with someone. So really cherish that and protect that. Don't be fooled by all of this that's out here. Okay. So he hears this conversation quite often, but people got ADD. You gotta go ahead and restate it for the facts. Okay. Gotta restate it for the facts. And so I'm going to just really give you the chain of what happened, because see, what happens is, I often say, I don't know what the conversation is going to be. This topic of dear young man is something that I wanted to express, but I didn't know how it was going to be expressed. I just know it needed to be expressed, in a sense, right? Like, hey, tell men, like, hey, young man, hey, man, be wise, think, slow down. I just knew it was in that vein. How it flow is how it flow. And then my task is to consult the Qur'an. Is it in the Quran of what was revealed to you on Wednesday? Alhamdulillah, on Wednesday, let's say the angel comes and speaks in my ear on Wednesday. And so, is it in the Quran? And this is very intriguing to me, because for me, I'm not reading the Quran and then going to give you a story to corroborate the Quran. It's quite the opposite. Inspiration comes. I ask the Quran, where is it at in here? Since this is supposed to be a book of wisdom, I wish I had it, but it's over there. This is supposed to be the light. It's supposed to be no error in it. It's supposed to be all encompassing. Where is it in the Quran? So again, for me, I've had tremendous divine insight and revelation doing it this way because I found my questions get answered. Do you know about pi? Do you know about 360 degrees? Do you know about time? Do you know about the golden ratio? Do you know about astronomy and things of that nature? And it's like, bing, bing, bing. All these things are checking out as I showed in previous videos. So yeah, it must be in the Quran. Is it? And we're talking about the young man who needs to guard his chastity. And we're gonna figure out what that is too. Okay. All right. All right. So all the newcomers now they want to get in here after we played the poetry. I should play it again for y'all, but y'all can go back and listen to it. All right. Let me see here. Where we at here? Yes, let's bring Dear Young Man. Not this one. What is this one? Hold on, y'all. Here we go. All right. Now, this is what I find very ironic, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know that? Want me to play it again? Should I play it again? Somebody asked, should I play it again? Let's take our time. Noble, let's go ahead and play it again. I'm gonna play it for you. So let me take this off. I'll play it one more time because it's really, and I ain't saying it because it's me. I'm saying it because it is really a dope conversation that need to be had. I don't mind. I'll play it one more time and then we'll get into seeing if we can back it up in the Quran. All right. So where is it at here? Give me a minute, y'all. I gotta find it on the back end. Background sounds. Dear young man. Dear young man, I ask that you please listen to this with the ears of your heart and the ears of your soul. I ask that in fact that you close your eyes and we go on this spiritual soul journey and learn. And I just share with you a truth that I wish I was told about sex, that I wish I was told about women and our connection. This is from me to you. Dear young man, please know that sex impacts the soul, and where you will forever carry the memories and spiritual residue of the person forever. So please be clever, cause I would have never had sex with many, if any, knowing what I know now. Trauma after the fact is a repeat of memories that haunt us. So never argue and fight, because these experiences are stored in our mind and body as false light. False meaning it is the wrong memory to encode in the seed of never letting go. Dear young man, seek wisdom. If you were to contract a disease from person C and C from B and B from A, then you just received the false sexual light from person A and B as if you were with them. It's basic logic. Don't dodge it. Be wise, young man. Energy is never destroyed. It is simply re-employed. People carry us as memories because we are chemically inside of them, and not just her and him, but them, meaning all of us are bonded, a spiritual orgy of chaos that I did not know exists. So please resist the urge. It may be impossible to purge, because cells have memories and impact our gene expression. So sex is a spiritual science lesson. Soulmates is not just a cute concept. It is a truth that all mates affect our soul. So the goal was always to know and go. Marry the virgin as a virgin, so the soul may glow as we unite and grow. Out of one comes many, and out of chaos comes order. These are the things we need to share with our sons and daughters. But for many, it's too late. We can never break and escape the past. The experience is cataloged in our memory bank. In the inner conflict of these multiple personalities, these just may be the culprit of our chaotic reality. Uncertain, fearful, angry, and confused. Could it be her, and her, the leftover sexual residue? Dear young man, the mere fact that you can receive a disease from sex shows you that you can receive energy from a woman. So please do not be a dumb man. What you have is pure, untainted. You are yet to let another soul enter your body. Cherish that, protect that, because the wrong DNA will impact that, and that It's just a biological fact. Dear young man, seek wisdom. Get to know your soul and what and who is good for it. Never be part of creating bad memories for self and others. For when they are out of your present and years later, when they think of you with negative emotion, these thoughts create motion that can create misfortune in our lives. Hence, in the East, we wear the evil eye. But for some, it may be too late. It's okay to wait. Better safe than sorry, and sex is not a menage like a wild safari. Habitats of animals. A human being can become a spiritual sexual cannibal. Hannibal Lecter who drinks the nectar. An incubus, a spiritual demon that has sex with women sleeping. This folklore is a metaphor. Don't nail the hammer Thor to the woman who is yet to explore the awakening of her soul. This is akin to sleeping with a zombie, a mole. More poisonous than the black mamba bee, but the right woman brings you sweet sexual healing like the honey bee. Be wise, young man, because once you let her in, you can never get her out. We were made to be joined together, not to come together and then biologically forget. This makes no sense. It's a biological impossibility and spiritual incompetence. So develop the ability to get to know your soul, which takes a lifetime and lifetimes. Get to know God who dwells in your heart. This is the start. Learn to listen to that voice that will guide us to make the right choice. Discover and surrender to a daily practice where you purposely commune with God and make this action your number one attraction. And from this love, God will grant you your special love from above. She will be his representative, your true soulmate. And you two will be like the turtleneck dove, always in love. Find Sophia, young man. Words of Sheikh Suleiman Sharif Ab Malik of the Golden Heart. All righty. Okay. Whoop, whoop. Every time I hear that, I'm like, whoop, whoop, chicken head. Right. All right. So let's get into it, man. What's beautiful about the Quran, the beautiful, glorious Quran, is surah number 4 is called An-Nisa, which means the women. Yes. The Quran has really a lot to say about the beautiful dynamic of the feminine principle, and you would never know it. Please refer to my video on Qadr, the night of power, known as the night of destiny, and it talks about a woman. Yes, Qadr, what we call measurement, or Layla Qadar, night, Layla's night. Layla means a woman's name. If you take it to Hebrew, Layla is the archangel that is in charge of conception of the womb, childbirth as well. So Layla speaks of this feminine energy I showed in that video. Then about maybe 2 videos back, I came in on the Fatiha dealing with the women of Islam and whatnot. Man, that's a whole nother video. I dealt with the Fatiha and showed you out of the first 7 verses of the Fatiha, out of 7 verses of the Fatiha, 6 verses, the first 6 verses is giving a direct reference to a woman. The Quran is beautifully encoded. You have what they call the surface meaning of what you see. Yes. And then there are different dimensions of the Quran, the inner Quran. As we showed that Iman number 6 in the Shia tradition. Yes. Sadiq, Jafar al-Sadiq, he taught that there are 4 Qurans. You got the basic Quran, you got an interdimension Quran, then you got one that's like for the saints, and then you got a whole nother level of a Quran, or the human body is the Quran. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So I just find it ironic that I have shown in the past that there's really a lot of encoding with the woman, but then they give you a whole chapter called the woman, or called women, which is Surah 4 in the Quran. Okay. Again, when you read it, if you read it, it's going to be surface base level stuff. You have to learn how to really develop an eye of what's being talked about in the story. And this is, again, I salute everybody that's in our Sunday class who then took up the challenge to take the Tuesday class, because they are transcribing these realities, these different versions of the truth for themselves. It's ain't about what I tell you it is. I'm going to show you how to do it, and you tell me what you get. Beautiful. I mean, beautiful computations. If Ali, peace be upon him, said, I can fill 70 camels up with different meanings of the Fatiha, meaning chapter number 1 by itself. That's a lot of different translations. Okay. So just don't take minds. Learn the divine analytical ability to be able to do it for yourself and see what Allah is telling you. If I could be of any help to you sincerely, I try to bear it all out for you. My process is not to study the Quran and then go find a story to make the lesson of the Quran applicable. The Quran that I study doesn't give it to me on the surface like that per se. Okay. What I do is get the inspiration and then I go consult the Quran and find the correlation, which makes it more meaningful to me. Try it. Okay. All right, let's move. Here's a concept in the Quran 39:6 said, He created you from one soul. Remember, we're talking to dear young man. Dear young man, the Quran is saying, hey, listen, y'all one soul. You and this woman is one soul. Now, here's the question. Is it just talking about one woman? Or is that the truth for all women that you come in contact with? And ladies, superimpose this upon yourself. Is this true for the men that you come in contact with? Yes. Okay. Nevertheless, the point here is the Quran is speaking that we are one soul. Woo. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this here because this verse says, by no means, but on their hearts is a stain of the ill which they do. A stain translates to mean rust and dirt. Yes. The point of putting this here is simply to show you that in the Quran, it is saying, hey, there's things that you can do that will stain or like make your heart dirty. And possibly it starts to rust. If you understand the science of rust and oxidation and what's happening, it's a decay. Yes. So you can do things that will decay your heart. The global citizen of the earth, this is the number one killer in the world dealing with some form of heart disease, heart issues. Yes. So it's something that we're doing that's tremendously out of whack, dealing with the heart. Okay. The Quran knows this. Okay. Okay. Now, we saying, dear young man. Yes. But dear young man and woman, we must understand, because if we are one soul, as the Quran pointed out, let me show you the truth of this in biologically. Yes. Inside of the fetus. Yes. When you are in, you just now pop being developed. You carry something called a Mullerian duct and a Wolffian duct. Look at the top. Look at the top picture and look at the bottom too. It says Mullerian duct, Wolffian duct. Now, on the left-hand side, if the Mullerian duct develops, you will become a woman and develop ovaries and fallopian tubes and uterus and the vagina. Wolffian duct goes online, goes offline, goes a trophy, goes offline. Don't mean that it ain't there. It goes offline. If you are a male, Wolffian duct develops, Mullerian duct's a trophy, goes offline. Then you get the epi Diddy, that go Diddy right there. Diddy P Diddy Diddy Scorpio sexual reproductive organs. There go Diddy right there. Yes, he's a Scorpio, sexual reproductive area. This stuff is really real like that. Okay. It's Scorpio energy. Hey, it is what it is. What we see now. Yes. So if you are a male, you start to develop testicles and things of that nature, prostate. Yes, that's the Wolffian duct. So when the Quran says you're born from one soul, or male, female, he created them from one. You, even when you're born, you're carrying the opposite duct. And why should you not when I am a product of my mother? I should have some aspect of that could be a daughter. You are a product of your father. I should have some aspect of that if I become a male. Yes, this is the beautiful aspect of creation. This is called embryogenesis, study of the embryo, the beginning of the embryo. I find it very intriguing because for about 4 to 5 weeks, You roll together, and then when the determination comes on, one comes and the other a trophy. It's like, oh, okay. But dang, for about 5 weeks, y'all was rolling together though. It's dope. Yeah. Okay. So it is a oneness. That's the truth. Okay. Now, let's break this verse down. The whole verse says, say to the believing men, dear young man, that they should lower their gaze and guard their modesty. That will make for a greater purity for them. And Allah is well acquainted with all that they do. So say to the believing men, you should lower your gaze and guard your modesty. Whoa. See, this ain't about a woman. You, sir, should lower your gaze and guard your chastity. Oh, lower my gaze. So don't look. Don't look at her. God damn, she fine. Look. Damn, I can't say she fine. What are you really getting at here? What are you really getting at? So let's see what it's really getting at. The word lower. Yes. I'm going to give you the root. Gwine, Dodd. It's kind of like GHDD. Okay. Or what you see at the top, it says Gadada. DADA. Dodd. Yes. It means shortcoming, a deficiency, fault, defect, a bolt, a stain, disgrace, and shame. Yes. Because to lower something does mean it came short. Yes. And then there's another aspect of lower where you kind of debase yourself. You suck to such a low level, man. You a low, what, man? That was low that you did. That was low down. Yes. We hear it in the culture. There's an act that a person can do that represents being low down, dirty shame. Remember that movie? Yes. Okay. So lower, as we see, bring this back, shortcoming, deficiency, some type of fault, some type of defect, blot, stain, disgrace, shame. Let's talk about the gaze. Okay. What is the gaze? Well, the gaze at the top said it means to realize, to understand, to comprehend something. Look in the middle, to make someone understand or realize something, to make someone aware of something, to enlighten someone or as to something, to tell, to inform. Let's go to the bottom. To see, to make out, behold, perceive, discern, notice, to recognize, to reflect, ponder something. Yes. Here's another one. To have faulty visual perception, be able to see, to be endowed with reason, be rational, reasonable, intelligent, to reflect. Yes. Okay. Let's move on. What about guard, which is hafiz? What is guard? Well, guard means to be attentive, heedful, mindful, because when you guard something, you're attentive to it. Yes. Preserving, keeping, guarding. It also means grudge, resentment, rancor. It's going to come back. It also means precautionary or preventive measures. Yes. Guess what Hafiz also means? This blew my mind. You see it in pink. Memory. I said, oh boy. Oh boy. Hold on. Did I not say, and dear young man, we are, what did it say? People carry us as memories because we are chemically inside of them. Not just her and him, but them. Yes, I said that. So now Hafiz means to guard and protect something, but it also means memory. Yes, let's see. Memory of what? So guard their modesty. What is modesty? Modesty means a state of happiness. Guard your happiness. pleasure and delight. Guard it. But note, it's happiness after suffering. Note that. Onlooking, watching, inspection, viewing, sight, spectacle, freedom from grief or sorrow, release from suffering, joy, relaxation, relief, ease, respond, or repose, pleasure, comfort, happy ending. We ain't talking about that kind of happy ending. Love you long time. I know what y'all be doing when y'all get the massages. Love you long time. So notice that you are to guard looking, or is it more of guarding your happiness rather, or is it more of like, hey, you have to guard against this state that happens when you go through some things, but then you become happy after those things. Right now, alhamdulillah, you're able to get to a happy ending. But when you in the moment of the conflict, this can create serious problems. Hence, it's a conflict. Serious problems. People get hurt, diseases, stress, all kind of shit just starts to happen if you're not careful of how to see. Remember the gaze. Yes, lower your gaze. If you have a deficient gaze, whoa, here it comes. If you have a deficient gaze, meaning, remember that word said, hey, you're supposed to really be able to reason with this things that you see, with this perception faculty of yours. You are supposed to be able to have some form of reason inside of this. But if it's low, deficient, you're going to have some problems. That's what it's really getting at. Okay. You're going to have some problems. So guard yourself against really engaging, because there may be a thing that happens that you'll come out of it and be happy afterwards. But boy, wouldn't it have been nice to know you shouldn't have possibly engaged, because it could have got the best of you. And the penitentiary and the cemeteries are filled, and hospitals are filled with people who that has got the best of them. Let's figure it out and put it together. This is going to blow your mind. You really want to know what it is? You want to know what to guard yourself against? And this ain't no shot. Trust me when I tell you this. And ladies, I think you know. It's not. It's talking about being on a certain level, though. Okay. Here it is right here. Let's bring it up. Gaze. Opening pudendum of the female vulva. Okay. What is a pudendum? The meaning of pudendum is the external genital organs of a human being, and especially of a woman. Oh, really? So you mean to tell me to guard my chastity, but chastity is actually really referring to what we call the poom poom. I wonder where we get that name from. The poom poom. Yes. You see it right there on the screen. You wouldn't know the Quran is talking about this if you don't know how to get to the root of the word that they're using to describe things. Okay. So now let's read the story and say what it say. This is what you just saw. Say to the believing men, the low perception can bring about shortcomings and disgrace. Take preventive measures with the vagina. That's one, but I like this one. Let's try it again. Say to the believing men, the deficient perception can bring shortcomings, stains, and disgrace. Guard your happiness as memories are attached to the vagina. Oh, memories are attached to the vagina. Yes. Okay, let's bring this up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's have a conversation about it. Number one, the male immune system forms memory to a partner's body fluids. During unprotected sex, the male body is exposed to vaginal fluids, cervical mucus, partner's microbiome, partner's immune molecules. When these enter the urethra, which means your pee hole, young man, and bloodstream, the male immune system can create what we know as T cells and antibodies. The body remembers, remember Allah, Always talking about remembering the crime. Remember. The body remembers exposure to specific bacteria, protein, DNA fragments, immune signatures of the partner. Wow. Come on. This is similar to how it remembers viruses or foods. So, yes, the immune system recognizes and remembers partners over time. Number two, microchimerism also occurs in men too, which mean men too, meaning, hey, it happens in women. It is rarer, meaning it happens more in women. So take note, ladies, okay? But document it. Men can absorb their partner's cells, especially during deep or repeated exposure to vaginal secretions. These cells can survive in the bloodstream, may lodge in bone marrow or organs, can stay for months to years. This is the male version of cellular memory. It is not emotional memory. I beg to differ. I bet it absolutely can, but it's not flat out emotional memory. So that's fine. The question is, can it impact emotional memory? Absolutely. It's not emotional memory, but biological imprint. Oh, shit. That's even worse. A biological imprint that I'm not aware of emotionally. Oh, my God. Right. Number three, the male brain forms a sexual memory even stronger than the female. This is the big one. Sexually, men release dopamine, oxytocin, vasopressin. Vasopressin is the male pair bonding chemical. In neuroscience, vasopressin locks the male nervous system to his partner. It is a memory forming hormone tied to loyalty, jealousy, and attachment. This is why men imprint deeply on their first few sexual partners. Men get attached sexually even when they try not to. Breakups and sexual traumas hit men harder than they admit. They will kill you. Okay. Men remember sexual partners for life more vividly than women do. Ain't that something? This is neurological memory, not immune memory, but it's powerful. Number four, semen itself carries epigenetic memory. This is something almost no one talks about. Sperm carries emotional states, stress hormones, lifestyle imprints, trauma markers. Ladies, trauma markers. Sperm carries these things. Ladies, one more time. Sperm carries trauma markers. Spiritual, energetic vibration, and mystical traditions. A man's history is literally carried in his seed. Women receive these imprints through conception and sometimes through sexual exposure alone. So, in the symbolic sense, yes, a man carries the memory of past partners into his body and into his future relationships unless purified. Interesting. Wow. Wow. What says thou? Oh my God. OG Bruce Lee, you ain't never lied, man. Boy. And niggas say all that slimy stuff feel good. All that slimy stuff is heaven. Forget feel good. It is heaven, right? Crazy, man. Crazy. Okay. So that's really it. Short dissertation today, man. About at an hour mark, so that's pretty rare for me. These are usually 2-3 hour conversations on Friday and whatnot. Think, be wise, man. Be wise, and think of a way to introduce yourself to your partner in an intimate way. I'm not talking penetration. Think about this: how can we be spiritually, sexually mature? How can you introduce the bodies to each other before the chemical interchange or inter-exchange happens? You got to get creative. Do your body, mind, and soul recognize my voice? Do my body, mind, and soul recognize your voice? Do your body, mind, and soul recognize my touch? Just a simple touch. Do you recognize my touch? Do you recognize it's my touch with my voice now? Yes? I'm talking about intentional coming together and let's call it priming, getting ready before you have the let me just jump in, let me see what it's about, let me see, oh yeah, check out, that's cool, yeah, you got some good stuff, you know, man, we didn't just had a, and this is why in the Kabbalah they say you create worlds. When man and woman come together, man, you are creating worlds. And I'm not just talking about a baby. I'm talking about you opening up portals and stuff, man. You creating worlds. You got energies, man. They say the human being has an average of 30 to 40 trillion cells. Now, in another school, we talked about 76 trillion cells. Yes, but that's fine. Trillions of cells. Those are worlds within worlds that we pretty much don't have no conscious direction. I don't know what my skin cell is doing right now. I don't know what this white blood cell over here is doing right now. I don't know. Yes. But all this chemical swapping that's taking place, they gotta be like, hold on, what's this? Hey, this is strange. I've never seen you in here before. And this is on both sides. I'm not, and please, ladies, I'm not picking on you, because when dear young woman come, it's gonna give you the game, which you should already see it within this. This is a two-way conversation. We both have to be guarded because we one soul. We both receive, and that's why I'm telling men. Men act like we don't receive energy from women. You a lie. You absolutely do. And that's why I was said in there, hey, if you got a disease, A, you got it from person C, C from B, B from A. It was like you slept with A and B originally. You wasn't even there, homie. And the mere fact that you can get something from a woman just told me that you just received energy from her. So it ain't about giving, you can't receive no energy. No, you go in there, you walk away with some of her essence in you. You better start thinking about that shit. What's wrong with you? Who told us that? Right? Horribly miseducated. Not thinking about that, right? All right. So I was going somewhere. Because that kind of ticks me off when we get. I just wish I would have had it. Rather, I wish I would have had the wisdom, somebody to tell me this, right? Now, whether I would have listened or not, probably not, depending on how young I would have got it. But can you say it in such a way that would just make me remember and consider? Because see, that becomes important. That becomes really important, because see, when you get into this science of the mystical side of Islam, which is really the inner dimension of what was the original Islam, I'll say it, all right, because Sufism is not a school of Islam. Sufism is the original Islam. And this is why those imams that come from the prophet's family and the prophet himself is telling you, hey, just like I had to fight for the revelation of the Quran, there's going to be one amongst you that's going to have to fight for its interpretation. And he pointed to Ali. So that means that the interpretation of the Quran that we have today, we don't understand it, sir. We have to wait for Ali to interpret it. What are you talking about? Yes? Okay. All right. So now, in Sufism, we are taught that there are 7 levels to the soul. Yes. There's 2 levels I want to point out here. The second level, I can actually give you the first so you can get up. The first level, they say, hey, listen, under this particular state, yes, you are insane. The soul is really addicted to drama. They say violence, but I know energy very well. Violence is a Mars thing, and under Mars is raw sexual passion. Nothing wrong with that. And also under Mars is anger. So to even be in the environment that produces anger is a reflection of the first level of the soul. Okay. You have no conscious thought of doing better yet. You like the dudes that gang bang. You know what I'm saying? The light ain't came on yet that you know you can do better in a sense. You waking up and you with the smoke, right? You in a horrible relationship and it hasn't clicked on how to do something about it. You just exist in it. Okay. The second level of the soul, Lawama. I can always remember this because it starts off, if you Anglicize it, it's LAW, law, Lawama. Okay. I said, okay, this is the law. This is when you start to reflect that my actions is bogus. I can do better. It's a thought. You start to think about the positive side of the spectrum. I can do better. Okay. That's what that is. I can do better. All right. I'm about to see if I still got it loaded up here for our class because we go over these things in class. So I don't know if I still have it on the back end for me. I may share it with you. I don't mind. I'll share it with you. Let me remove this, bring this up. Yes. What is this? And that's number 2. Right. So here he is. This is how you would spell it right here. Okay. Lawama. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a planet because you really need to understand cosmic consciousness. Okay. So again, this is when you start to self-reflect. Okay. And really, this is a clear indicator of our mindset. And this is why I put the planet Mercury here. All right. Because we start to process we start the process of self accountability. We start to ponder cause and effect. We start to really think about karma here, which means we start to think about God, knowing that He is not pleased with us. Okay. That's what's really happening at this particular state. All right. So I just wanted to point out 2 states. That's one is this state right here, but then also this state right here is the ultimate state to be in. I can't stress this enough. All right. And it's called Radia. I call her Lady Radia. Because see, this is where you come into divine understanding, and everything is with purpose. It's with purpose. All right. And this is a great teaching effect because if you understand, if you truly, truly, truly understand that everything is with purpose, okay, then there's no need for shame. There's no need for guilt. There's no need for the things that we experience after the fact of coming into this, well, before the fact of coming into this knowledge of everything happens in divine timing. I'm going to tell you something. God disappearing is one of the most beautifulest things that could have ever happened to be an ultimate test of our faith and our trust. Because, see, if the big fella or the big woman or they were here together as like these beings that you can see and you just knew you couldn't do no wrong because it was instant retribution, if you did, you would behave as if you were a slave. Yes. That's how you would behave. You would trust because you kind of forced to trust. Trust implies that you do something that I don't have control over. I trust you to pay your rent on time. I trust you to go to the store, whatever it may be. I trust you to feed me. You know, like I trust you. I trust that literally means there's something that you are doing that impacts my reality that I have no control over. And I now entrust you with that responsibility. I don't have no control over it. So for God to disappear, yes, and you have to say, I don't believe in the mystery God, and you come into that in a sense, right? It is the ultimate test of faith to develop. It be again to develop faith and trust, let alone surrender. Because now you're about to surrender to the unseen, unless you have proven to yourself, as the Quran says, you have proven to yourself that the unseen has really made itself made manifest in all things. And there's no question and doubt about it. There is no mental reservation of any kind when it comes to you and your Lord. Yes, there is none. Okay. Anyway, if we can get to not have this understanding of Radia, this is important, man. To not have this understanding. What was the definition earlier that we saw? We saw that you can have, when you have this faulty perception, it can start to bring you shame. Yes. It starts to bring you this lower your gaze. That's what it was. This low default perception can bring about things that is just unwanted in a sense. Okay, that of a low frequency. Okay. But when you really understand all is divine, I don't get stuck and hung up in on that. I can't I can't the only thing I could do is just share my truth, my real life story. Okay. I cannot believe in God. And then I hear my son say, I catch wind that, oh, my son has threatened his girlfriend with suicide. I said, he threatened you with suicide. She was like, yeah. I said, let me tell you something as his father. You don't let him bind you to that. If you don't want to be with him, you don't have to be with him. And I'm his father telling you that. And I say, if you have these kind of thoughts, we can deal with that. But I said, but let me tell you something. You can't cheat the soul. You cannot cheat the soul. Yes. Long story short, now a year would be a year, some change that he would die. Yes. But he's also, this is the one that had his mother's from Thailand. So, and they Buddhists. And so I got hooked to Thai food. And so I believe, I don't even believe, I know reincarnation is real. I look at the case study, I look at the evidence. No, I'm sorry. Sorry. It's there and it's in the Quran. No, I believe in that. That's the truth. Okay. My son told his girlfriend, I'll be back. And I'm gonna come back as a little kid and I'm gonna remember everything. That's what my son said. Wallahi. My son said that. When she told me he said that, I said, oh man, you a bad motherfucker. That's what I said. I ain't gonna lie. I said, God damn, nigga, you a bad motherfucker to say some shit like that and die. You gonna come back, find her, and remember everything? Oh, nigga, you got me faded, nigga. Nigga, whoo, and I ain't got the balls for that one. Sorry, I don't, right? If I really believe this, God, reincarnation, everything's for the greater good. Even had a conversation with him, you can't cheat your soul. What do I look like going into a depression about my son dying? And I go into this dark spot, a very dark place. I can't eat. I'm losing weight. I ain't in my right mind. I can't have conversation. No, people lose their mind over this. This is real stuff, man. Jew told me of a story of a woman, man, come outside in the summertime wearing her wedding dress because that was the best experience that she had. But this really happened after the death and murder of her son in the dice game. All of a sudden, now she walking down the street in the middle of the summer with a wedding dress on from a wedding that happened years ago. This is real stuff. People have breakdowns. Yes, because we don't really believe in the divinity of Allah. Don't get hung up on the name. We don't believe in the divinity of God in totality. We say we believe. That's why I'm going to always say it. I don't care. What I asked my mama when she called me and told me my son was dead. That was the first thing out my mouth. I swear to God, the first thing out my mouth. Ma, do you believe in God? She said, I don't know. That's what she said. I do not have to lie to you. That's what she said. I said, okay, let me call you back because I had to process, right? We don't believe. Deep down, we do not believe. And here's the kicker. And we think we believe and know that we really don't. That's the part that really baffles me. You walk around here saying you believe, but deep down in the hearts, we really don't believe. That's mentioned in the Quran too. Okay. So we have to get to a elevated state of what I simply call divine understanding, which in Sufism, that's the fifth level, Radia, Lady Radia. Because once you get to this understanding, that becomes your safeguard in your weapon. against anger, against, the things that, you feel this pain that ultimately starts to find itself, lodge itself somewhere in the body. We saw today that Hafiz memory, when it says protect, guard your chastity, it said memory. I said memory. Memory. The whole nervous system is an electrical impulse. That's Aquarius. That's Uranus. It's electrical impulse. The body is electrochemical. So chemical is the slow path. Yes, it takes a little while for the chemicals to produce, cook up, drop in the bloodstream. The thought path is the fast path because it's electrical. Yes. And thought travels way faster than light, by the way. And so these thoughts going through the entire body as the nervous system. Please understand. Excuse me. Please understand that there is a bodily system that is really the spiritual repository of a particular thought or chain of thoughts. I explained this in our book, Spiritual Wisdom for the 21st Century. Is on Amazon. It's been there for years. When I shared the truth about my father, alhamdulillah, I have to praise Allah, because when I really look at my life, people, places in it, and the things that have taken place, I can see nothing but God's glory. And here's the story. My father and mother married. Yes, when little Chucky was born, they're married, so I wouldn't be a bastard. Although I was conceived in a motel because my dad was still at home with his parents and my mom was still at home with her parent. So I was conceived in the motel, probably on Dixie Road, some damn where, right? And so I'm a motel baby, okay? And so my mother, she did have an affair on my father. And I'm talking, this is kindergarten, first grade. I would say first grade, because when me and her move, because they're gonna divorce now, I was going to the second grade, and I remember going to second grade. Okay. Which happened to be the year I was held back. Interesting, very interesting. But anyway, so I told my dad. I didn't know I told, but I told. Mommy friend Art was over. What? Yeah, mommy friend Art was over. Whoa, what? Really? Just being a kid, you know what I'm saying? But maybe I told him purpose. I don't know. And so that was the end of that. He has carried the disappointment because he has a Scorpio moon. If you know anything about Scorpio, it is the sign of loyalty. So although he loves porn, because he's in that generation with he had the projector, I don't know, 36 millimeter thing, like you in the movies and shit, you know what I mean? The wheel projecting on the wall. I come out as a little kid, him and his friends watching porn and shit. So and he loves Vanessa Del Rio. That's the porn star. That's his dream girl, right? I got a whole video on my other YouTube channel, Hip Hop Astrology TV, which happens to be the most viewed video I ever had. Me interviewing my dad about his freaking porn star crush. Okay. And so Scorpio represents loyalty, and the moon represents a woman, also represents a sexual woman. Now dig the sign. Watch this. Watch the beauty of this. So my mama birthday is on the cusp, and my dad said he remembered her coming to school with a Sagittarius jacket, and she started this trend of people wearing you know, zodiac jackets. Okay. But when my mother was born at the time, technically it was still Scorpio and not Sagittarius. So for people who are born on the cusp, you really need to know your time of birth because you either going to be 29 degrees, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds this sign, or you're going to be 0 degrees of the next sign. You can only be one. Okay. Don't mean that you don't have an influence, but technically you can only be one. So my dad has a Scorpio moon. Dig what I'm saying? If the moon is right here in Scorpio, he meets this neighborhood girl whose son is right here in the same position in Scorpio. And to these mere mortals of a human being, they say, oh my God, she is so beautiful. He is so handsome. Let's get together and let's have a baby, right? Not knowing that they are a match made in heaven. The question will become what type of match made in heaven, because you have bad matches and you have good matches. Okay. All right. So Scorpio moon, she cheats because Scorpio represents what? Sex in secrets. So then this was obviously something that was a sexual secret. Okay. Now, this stresses him out, bothers him because he played by the book. He's a minister Jew type of dude. He plays by the book of life. Ain't going wrong, nothing ain't gonna run the red light. Just believe in doing the right thing. That's him. Ain't gonna do nothing illegal. Not that guy. In fact, he gonna tell. Okay. I'm telling you now, he telling. All right. So because he wanted to be a cop. He actually applied to be a cop and they denied him. All right. But anyway, so now years later, his kidney started giving him an issue. His left kidney, which is the feminine side of the body. That's very interesting to me because if I go to the cosmic law of the creator, the kidneys is ruled by Libra, and Libra is marriage partner. So now I have to ask the question, is something going on with the marriage partner that you have an issue with? Oh, absolutely. Because my dad, if I call him right now and I'd be like, Dad, what's Art license plates number in the car? Oh, 1986 Nissan Maxima. C as in Charlie, R as in Rico, X as in X-ray, 752. That's how he gonna nail it out. I swear to God, right hand of God, he will spit it out just like that. He never forgot that. That hurt him. And so what happens is the corresponding bodily system is so intelligent. Yes, it's so intelligent that we know that the adrenal sits on top of the kidneys. We know this. The adrenals is responsible for producing adrenaline, which is a stress chemical. It's okay if you're playing sports, but you can't stay in a prolonged state of this. This is very dangerous. And they sit right on top of the kidneys. So now in his body, left kidney, feminine side, corresponding to a woman marriage partner, because again, kidneys is Libra. Now that organ has to match the reflection of the image of his experience. I can't stress this enough. Sufis been know about this. This is actually how we teach how to heal. Okay. And so he goes to dialysis, went to dialysis, and then on his birthday a couple years back, he was granted a new kidney. He went under the knife and got a whole new kidney, somebody's kidney. Okay. Alhamdulillah, he's doing great. Numbers are actually normal. He eats Wendy's every day and McDonald's every day, but hey, his numbers is okay, and that's his form of moderation, and that's his thing. My point is, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen this in real life. And then you know the kicker, guess what? Because my father is the type that has a file cabinet and folders and records. He gave me a big folder. I don't know why I threw it away, because I felt like I transcended that, so I didn't want to keep it. He gave me a folder for everything, especially like in my teens to my low 20s. Every time he have done something for me in a sense, he had a record of it. And it made me appreciate my father though. Like, damn, I remember that. He had my keys from when I got locked up. I was like 17 and I was with a woman who was 34. So I know what it's like to go behind the wall and not have one person send you a letter and your girl did. I know what that's like, right? And so he had the keys. I had a 76 Cutlass. He had those keys, right? And that just took me down memory lane and see everything he done. But he would keep a record. And so, of course, he is feeling some type of way about this experience. Now, my mother, who is hundreds of miles away in a different state, she ended up developing some issues dealing with her right kidney. Oh, which is the masculine side. So now the question has to be, could my father's evil eye, unbeknownst to him, let's call it his hurt eye, because he's hurt, could his hurt eye, and he has the image of who did it, could he have sent that energy to her and she has received it? And what does quantum physics teach us? That really you ain't even sending nothing. It's a signal of some sort because it knows. But when particle A turns, this one turns. So if one turns left, the other one turns right. So they can always keep this opposite spin orientation because opposites is the true attracting force in reality, yin yang. You're not spinning the same way. You're spinning opposite directions. So change this one changes simultaneously. So then she starts to develop issues on the masculine side of her body. I have to witness this. I have to watch this shit, yo. I said, damn, this is quite interesting. It really is. It's interesting. It's sad at the same time. So it's a bundle of things, you know. Now my mother, she'd get it more than my father, you know. But this is the kind of this is really real like that, it's really real like that. And so seeing that again just made me, appreciate the divine truth even more in that sense. So be careful, young man. Be careful, young woman. Can we can we wipe the slate clean? Is it a possibility? And y'all can shoot me some questions. We can get out of here. All right, you can shoot some questions. I really feel like today is one of those conversations, though. If you want to actually come on and ask a question, there it is right there in the chat. All right, you can click that, copy, paste it, whatever you need to do. If you got a question, shoot it to me in the chat or come on and we can have a quick question and Q&A real fast, right? Because I'm of the school of, once again, we got to reach divine understanding. Sir, like with my dad, I find it funny, man, bro, my dad is a kid, yo. Listen, it's December. I just had to order, it was about to be December. I order my dad's calendars every year. Log cabin, fighter jets, Hooters, damn Hooters calendar, okay, Dallas Cowboy cheerleader calendar, and muscle cars. Them are his 5 calendar picks every year. And then he'll get multiple of the girl calendars because he wants to give them to a guy friend. So he's a big woman. He's not a womanizer, but he loves women. So there was a magazine back in the day called Jet, a sophisticated magazine, and it was a short magazine. In the middle of the Jet was a centerfold of a woman, the beauty of the week. Wallahi, I promise you, this dude tears out the beauty of the week, and in the right corner, he writes a score on it as if he is a beauty pageant judge himself. This is his love for the divine feminine, though. I know what this really is. So all of these porn tapes and all of these Blacktail magazines, Hustler magazine, Playboy magazines, those are the three I remember. And Blacktail was another one. And Blacktail magazine, all of these magazines of women is a reflection of your divine love for the feminine. Okay. Now, you don't know yourself. You have Moon and Scorpio. You don't know that this is a pull for you. Okay. But then you're going to meet this woman again who's Scorpio, and you don't understand that maybe she's come from some broken things. Listen, man, I'm just going to tell the truth today because I tell the truth. Should I say that? Let's just say my mama's mama been through some things, messing with younger people, allegedly. We're gonna say allegedly, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know what your future wife has been through. You don't necessarily know what her experiences that may develop her moral character in a sense. Yes, you don't know this. And so now when you go through this experience and whatnot, it's just really a reflection of your own appetite to a degree. It's a reflection of you, although you don't cheat. I'm not saying you a cheater. You have to understand sex and secrets run by the same law. The law wants to express itself so you can understand something. And let me tell you something about disease, and we can go to a Q&A and listen. This is what the Sufis say. Excuse me, and I'm in agreement with them. When we receive any form of disease, it is because God is getting our attention for us to directly call on him/her. I know Muslim, don't be mad at me. But remember, Muslim, Allah said with him is the mother of the book. So Allah is rolling with some type of feminine energy. Whether you want to accept it or not, you wrestle with that on your own term. Okay. But we are put in a position to call on God because we absolutely must. Ain't no negotiation. We must embody a certain character trait known as an attribute of Allah. We must embody a character trait that will destroy the disease. There's case studies on this that I can give you. Okay. All right. So it is a direct call from God to say, call me, because there's something that you need to embody that reflects me to help you understand that me and you, we got a direct relationship. And I can't make you understand no other way, no other more intense, important way, but to smack that ass with some type of disease so you can understand, call me. Because I need you to change into something. I need you to become like me in this particular way. Start digging and figure it out what it is. Mm, mm, mm. All right. All right. So here's the question, the infamous question. How can we wipe the slate clean? Not coming on live, chilling in the house, looking crazy. It's all good. Can we ever wipe it clean? I'm gonna say here's the truth, man. It's just the truth. If a memory is inside of you, what you gonna do with that? You can add to it and reformat it, but the foundational basis there and the meaning can be different. But the point is, there is no delete. Now, here's the beautiful thing, and I'm talking about memory of the mind and emotion. Vaginal cells, from what I research, and we know cells don't live forever, they die. And they say, hey, they don't necessarily transfer information over and say, hey, I'm dying as a cell. New cell, take this information because you remember I was the cell that remembered. So the vaginal lining is discharged during the menstrual cycle and things of that nature. Alhamdulillah. But let's not act like we don't have an emotional memory and coding when it comes to this person. And I dare say, even to the body regions that become excited about this person, even it could be years past, where we reawakening the organ itself to a previous experience. So have you wiped it clean? No, the best thing that we can ever do is start with making what we would call pure steps. They call it, and here's one of them, because when in that verse where it says, hey, 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 lower your gaze, guard your chastity, because this is pure for you. Pure here is zakat. Now, zakat means charity, but the key to it and obviously means purity, but it represents when you start taking the rightful action with the right intention affects the heart. So heartfelt intention is the key. Okay. So it's no problem. And it's the key. See, the beauty of it is we get to build upon it. We can say wipe it clean, but it's still there in the sense. But one, there's no more negative attachment to it. It's not a negative experience once we can extract what I call the blessing in the lesson. All experiences are about learning a lesson. And then if it's about learning a lesson, then that's a blessing because you just got wisdom. But if you want to keep on repeating the same thing and you don't get it, then you don't get it. But hopefully, maybe one day you will because it keeps happening over and over again. So you can get it. Yes. So if we can extract the blessing in the lesson and understand, I needed this bad experience over here. I needed that sense of abandonment that I got from that older woman so I can man up and know I can survive without having to rely on anybody. If that's my lesson in a sense, right? I'm just hypothetically saying it. Once you can truly accept God's wisdom of why you are going through this experience, the Quran says, and we don't give a people no burden that they cannot bury or cannot carry, rather, or bear, right? So, and that's interesting. No matter what a person is going through, you saying, yeah, no, you can handle this. You got it for a reason. You can handle it. If we can figure out that reason, and that's why I say Radia is a really dope state to be in, then I understand why I picked you. So I don't have no beef with you because I understand why I picked you. I needed that. I didn't know I needed it, but I needed it now that I can look back and see. So now I just changed the polarity. And that's how you wipe the slate clean. You change the polarity. And this is why in the mystic schools, there is such a high reverence for what? Alchemy. Changing this to this, and this into this. So it's not about wiping it clean as if it never happened. It's about changing the polarization of the energy of what happened. That's the magic. Reshaping, reformatting, reframing. Good word. Okay. So that's the key. All right. All right. Janine B. I made it to the Janine B show, man. Noble, should young men wait until marriage to lose their virginity as well? Yeah, and that's why I said that right here. And dear young man, I'm glad you said that. Where is that at? Let me remove something. Which one needs to come off? Boop. Nope. Boop. All right. And so do. Yeah, and dear young man, it is said, where is it at? Mary the Virgin. Yes, it's somewhere in here. I thought it might have been. So be wise, young man. There's a part in here. I'm gonna find it. Where is it at? But the answer is absolutely yes. It's on page 2. So let me blow it up on my side and get rid of me over here. If you see that second one, soulmates is just not a cute concept. It is a truth that all mates affect our soul. So the goal was always to know and go. Marry the virgin as a virgin so the soul may glow as we unite and grow. So I'm telling the young man, Mary the Virgin. And that's interesting because I'm like, damn, that's really almost a double entendre, like Mary, the mother, virgin mother of Jesus. Mary the Virgin as a virgin, meaning if she's a virgin, I ain't telling her marry her as the virgin. No, I said she's a virgin. Marry the virgin as a virgin. You young man must be a virgin, so the soul may glow and unite as they grow. So yes, that was always the aim. The aim was always to have you in the pure state and to marry you early. And this is why I respect the Eastern old school cultures, because they will arrange for such a thing. No, when you come of age and this young lady from this household is of an age, this is what y'all gonna do. Y'all two getting married. You ain't about to be running those streets and about to be sleeping with whoop whoop and all this. No, you're not. You're not doing that. You're going to get married as soon as you become of age. And that's who you're going to be with, because we like that family over there. I kind of like that. That's a pretty dope idea because it preserved the integrity of so much. Now, I don't do a guarantee success. Absolutely not. But at least it stops you from being a gigolo and getting body counts on both sides of the equation. Yes. All right. All right. Now, was that Desiree Divine says, crazy you say that. I've been experiencing that acceptance of the wisdom this past week and now looking at why it was needed. Yeah, that's Radia. Okay. That's the Radia state. All right. So that's it. That's it on questions. We good. The Bible, young Axe says, the Bible says he knew her. It starts in the mind. Yeah. It also said knew you before you was born, too. Man. Thank you, Nikki Love. I appreciate that, man. Passing this on to your son. I really appreciate that. I actually well, you see it. It's MP3 on the Patreon. You can download it as well. Or this link right here, play it in the beginning or whatever. And if you need the written portion of it, let me know. Because Brother Youssef said, man, I'm having this conversation with my son and having him listen to it. And he's like, if you can send me the words, I said, no problem, man. So I sent him the words today. I mean, a couple of days ago, actually. So if you need the actual written words to go along with it, it's no problem. It's a PDF. I can send it to you as well. I know it's Clarity Vision. What's up, Clarity Vision? Yep. All right. So not a problem, man. So yeah, man, I would just say, be mindful that the whole thing is to find a practice where we start to trust that inner calling, learn how to hear it, learn how to trust it and go with it. Because in the 7 stations of the soul, that becomes a thing, that becomes a state where state number 4, which I call, that's the state that you really start to put the work in. You didn't, the state 3, you had a reflection that you can do better. State 2, you're responding and and you're self-accusing yourself like, nigga, I'm been bogus, this is wrong. But you haven't contemplated you can do better. Do better, state 3. You can do better mentally. The 4th state is what I call the action state, is when you start attending prayer and you give up certain things and this is your new thing, and then you fall in love with this new thing. Prayer and studying and figuring out, who am I? What's this connection? What's my soul? Where did it come from? How do it work? And you start getting here on level 4. This is where the work really begins, when you do that and whatnot. So as I said in closing on Dear Young Man, is find you a daily practice where this will be your new point of attraction. This love for Allah, this love for God, this love of soul. Really figure that out. The problem that we're having is, truthfully, this gap that we have is because we don't understand God. The way it's taught me is just, it don't line up. And we know it don't line up. So we don't go to a masjid and we don't go to a church. It's unfortunate. And for those that work, but it's unfortunate for some, because there is another outlet, there is another answer, and the answer sits with the true mystics, the ones who can show and prove how it works. Okay. But it's to get us to unfold what's already inside of us. So make this the new point of attraction. And then guess what? All things will be given unto us. Right. So I had this conversation before earlier. It was like, hey, when you look at the Martin Luther Kings and the ones who became the servants of humanity for a greater cause, they claim the fame wasn't necessarily making new technology. They had a humanitarian cause with them, Bob Marley, things of that nature, right? Things are given to them from the audience, from humanity. Humanity understands this a message, and they resonate with this so much so that they'll start to donate and just take care of. And the world is kind of like, what's that? Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything will be given to you. That is a classic example of how that works. But the same is true in our individual pursuits of happiness. So, there's a saying is center your life around prayer and not and not prayer around your schedule of life. So now, look, I pray before I come on. So I know that during the correct time of doing right now, at this part of the year, like, okay, I need to hit it earlier. When I come on, that way my prayer is done. So I'm gonna center things around my prayer. You see what I'm saying? So to the best of your ability. But make that love your newfound thing. All right. All right. So we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Click the thumbs up button. Go back, listen to this. Let me know in the comment section how you like how you like the poetic piece as well. I'd love to hear your feedback from it. Again, it's in the Patreon. I love to see you in the Patreon. Most important, I love to study with you on Sundays and Tuesdays in Arabic, having some fun over there and whatnot. But you can always inquire about that. You can shoot me an email. My name, nobleampu@gmail. If you're not in the Patreon and whatnot, that's cool. Just email me, nobleampu@gmail. And we're gonna get out of here on a very short prayer. I think we just gonna do Katha, which represents abundance, real fast. Okay. All right, man. I will see y'all next Friday. Peace.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر